that intersection where creativity meets sustainability, or that progression where trash is transformed to cash. I could go on and on, but the artist is here with us today, so let's just bring him on. His name is Eugene Konboye. He's a mosaic artist. He joins us via Zoom from Abeokuta. And let me just say, good morning, welcome to the show. I love your background. Your background is made of slippers, am I correct? Talk to us about your background. Let's start with that. Not your background as in where you're coming from, but your video background.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning, sir. The background is my current project. The work is a portrait I'm creating right now, and it's about 16 feet by 8 feet. So, but what you're seeing is just like a portion of it. This is not work itself.
Wow.
In its entirety.
Amazing. And that is just a picture of what you do. And I was looking at data. You say that Nigeria generates 32 million metric tons of waste annually. That's 2.5 million of that is actually plastic waste. And with an annual growth of about 2.4%, our wastes will increase, obviously, in subsequent years. Now, this was as at 2023, so imagine where we're at today. But you are doing something quite innovative. You are turning that trash, in some sense, to creativity, something beautiful to behold. So there's the creativity side, there's the sustainability side, there's the hard work side of it. So talk to us about your inspiration first. How did you come to this beautiful idea?
I started this work. I started creating a portrait out of footwear since 2017 when I was in school. But then when I started, it wasn't like this. I started by cutting them into tiny cubes and all that. But then the more I worked, the more I became more environmentally conscious. So that is why my work have evolved over time, and now I create my work while I kind of just put up the footwear there. So, and when you look at my work, the first thing you see actually is the footwear. So, at the center of my practice, the sustainability side, and the material is more important. That's what it is.
Amazing, and I wish Nigerians could just have the benefit of the full complement of some of the things that you're doing. If the camera could just pull out and see how you create beauty out of waste. I could see a beautiful, the face of a beautiful girl that you have created. I want you to take us through your creative process from how you source for this waste and what goes on in your mind. Yes, that's it, exactly. Beautiful. What do you create in your mind first before you create, before we see this full beauty?
Through my creative process, number one is where we source for the materials. I don't do that alone. I have a team that are charged with such responsibility. After getting our material, the second stage now is the cleaning process. The cleaning process. Then we go to the sorting process where we have to select them according to their colors and their size and how. And their level, the level of damage, done on them through the usage. So those ones that are a little bit out of shape, they are the ones that are on my first layers, like what I have in my background now. Those ones are the ones on my first layer if I come over. Now, talking about what comes to my mind most times, like for the work that I intend to create in the next 6 months to a year, I already have them all planned out. I take references, I take pictures of children around me, and day in, day out, I just have to go through these pictures and kind of immersing myself with them, creating a connection between me and my subject, and that is actually how I create. But what I am doing today is I must give credit to different people. there are people I pass through them. They train me on different capacities. Talking about people like Mr. Abiodun Olapo, people like Mr. Wallace Ejo, and name a whole lot of them. So I actually had the foundational training in arts, and now I'm doing something outside what they taught me, but using the foundational knowledge I got from them.
All right, so let me find out from you, how rewarding financially is it for you, as well as, how much of a market does this have within where you play?
Well, I would say it's encouraging, because this is what I've been doing for the past 6 years. I've not done any other thing. So, and for all the people that work with me, I also pay them. So if it's not sustainable, like it's not sustaining me as a person, so I would have left it maybe, because then I need to survive. This is what I do 24/7, always in my studio. Financially, I would say yes, it's very much, it's fair, it's good.
I mean, and that's good to hear, because that's what will sustain. I know you're trying to ensure sustainability for the environment, but you also need some sort of sustainability. And I'm looking at the work behind you. I think I can see an ear, maybe the eye and the nose. Am I correct?
Yes, yes.
Ah, fantastic. So I get some kudos for that. But I want to take you back a bit, because we still have a huge challenge on our hands. You're doing your bit, and we must commend you. We have some other artists doing their bit as well, using other forms of wastes and then turning them into either cash, something creative, and the rest. But we still have a huge challenge of plastic waste on our hands. We've seen state governments banning styrofoam and all of that, but you see the amount of waste we still generate. It's challenging. So what would you profile as a solution? A permanent solution, that is. Would you suggest that we have more people like you? Maybe you could begin to convert other people so we can have an army of people using, plastic waste for good, sort of, recycling them. Or do we just go back and say, let's do something about plastic in the first place? Do we really need plastic? Should we keep producing plastic, since we've seen that it is hurting the environment? What would you prefer? More people like you, or just go to the root and reduce totally the use of plastic?
Well, if I should say, in my opinion, going back to say, oh, you want to cut out plastic, I'm not saying that, I don't think it's possible for you to cut it out. But then what we have to do right now is manage, because even if we say we are not producing plastic for the next 10, 20 years, we'll still have the same problem. The ones that we have already amassed. For example, presently, I'm the only person I know of in Nigeria that is recycling footwear. Just like the kind of footwear I use. And these footwear, they are the kind of plastic that they are not meltable. You can't melt them to produce any other thing. You understand? So if we say, okay, let's assume today we say we are not going to make use of such footwear, but the ones that people have used over 10, 20, 30 years, they are still out there. You understand? So what I think right now is to create an enabling environment and also encourage creatives to kind of to venture into this kind of eco art, this kind of art that will help the environment. So it's just to create a living environment. I think that will be a more visible solution, because then even if you do that, it's not like we can't take everything away. It's just more like we just put hands together to manage the problem, but it's not possible to take it away. That's just our reality right now.
Now, it's rewarding, it's heartwarming to know that indeed you're turning trash into cash, that your effort, is bringing back some form of reward. But it looks like a lot of hard work. And besides that, for those who are wondering, are there fit-for-purpose frames that are suitable for homes, not just offices, not just art galleries or museums? Take us through what you create and if they are fit-for-purpose sizes for homes.
Yes, I do create smaller pieces. I do create smaller pieces, but I do create small, but not always. And the thing here is because of the material I have. It's because of the materials I have. Creating smaller pieces actually, yes, is a kind of friendly for people to pick up, but now making a statement is when I create a very large piece, because now the quantity of material I will consume in creating this piece is actually it goes in line with what my practice is all about. My practice is about taking out the trash, and day in day out I'm still kind of I have my people are still putting these things together for me. So if I'm creating smaller pieces, it's more like the material are still there and we are still getting the inflow is there. Because right now, the difference between me and other people that are practicing with conventional material is that now I have unlimited supply of material. You know, I won't run out of material. I'm not running out of material anytime soon. So I think that's yes. Yes, and it's easier for me to get my materials. It's cheaper for me to get my material. I don't have to travel anywhere. In Abeokuta here alone. This year alone, I've collected more than 2 tons of this material already that are in my studio presently. So I have to. Yes, I have to. I'm looking for a possible means of kind of reducing them, and that's actually why I started this project. It's 16 by 8 feet. So that's the stage we are now. So, but I create smaller pieces. Maybe I might create 2 small pieces. After that, I'll go back to creating 5 big pieces. That is how I work. Really.
That sounds like a lot of work. So how much people do you have under your employment?
Well, I can't count. But let's say let's say about 20 people. Let's say about give and take 20 people, because out there the people that are collecting the materials they also have different layers. There are people that go out, there are people that collect, there are people that sort, and I don't even know everybody. Yeah. But deep down now, when I come back to my studio, also I have about 7 people. You know, from the washing stage to the sorting stage to maybe the assembling stage to the stage where I have to stitch, because each and every one of those pieces, like this piece that is behind, when it's done, we have to sit down and stitch it manually. We stitch every footwear you're seeing round. So it's in my studio alone, we have about 7 people.
Fantastic. And I mean, outside. It's good to hear that that's creating some sort of engagement or employment, as the case may be, for those people. I'm trying to look at what's behind you and see if any of my old slippers are there.
It's possible.
It's possible, right? So maybe I can get small royalty, maybe 0.1% of it, but I'm joking. I want to talk about how far this has taken you and what the potentials you see as a result of this. First, for the sustainability of our world, for creativity, for the creative sector of our country. I know you've been featured on global stages as well. And I'd like you to speak to how we can leverage on that, because you talked about enabling environment. And, you know, these are the stories, the efforts that we need to push out there and build something proper on it. So I don't know if we can have a museum of sorts, if we can, what are the possibilities you see, basically?
For example, like your last point about the museum, if for example the people in power decide to kind of create a museum where you say, okay, this museum is all about recycling, like we are going to stock this museum with recycled art, then it will encourage a lot of people to move into recycling, to encourage a lot of people, even the people that are doing recycling right now, they want to kind of create something that will speak volume, you know. So, well, right now there's one person I know of that have done that, but that is a private thing. Mr. Dr. Mobola, let's give credit to him. He's working on something like that. But imagine now the people in power deciding to do something like that. Then the environment. Then you encourage a lot of people, a lot of younger artists, because right now, as a person too, I've trained other people, and there are still people that have the intentions of coming to my space to create. So if you create this kind of environment for them, maybe for example outside the museum, you create an art fair that has to do solely with recycling alone. So all this you are kind of encouraging them. You are opening a new portal for them to see possibilities. But there are a lot of people that wants to do this, but they don't even know where to start from or where will be their potential market, and all these things. They are it's a bit discouraging for young artists, people, especially the ones that just come out of school. So that I think if things like that are put in place to encourage them, to encourage people, even the ones that are doing it right now, we kind of want to push a little bit beyond what they are doing already, and you get new actors also.
There's so much to take from your story to learn, just as there's so much slippers behind you that you can pick from. And I think your story is really encouraging. It's motivating. The fact that you're bringing out beauty from it. Maybe someday I'll commission a slippers art of my face. But we'd like to thank you so much for the good work you're doing. Konboye Eugene, Mosaic artist, doing incredible work. We appreciate your work and wish you the very best.
Thank you very much, Sam. Thank you.
Whew. So there you go. I don't think it's lack of ideas or opportunities out there. You just need to look closely and you'll find it right there. People see slippers. This young man says art.
Waste, yeah, but he sees art.
Absolutely. Well, that's so much we could take on the show this morning, and we do hope we've been able to infuse you with some sort of motivation to go out there and look for ideas that you can convert into sustainability, cash, and the rest. But from this side, we'll have to say thank you. Have a fantastic day ahead. I'm proud of you.
Yes, indeed, true that. Wealth is all around you. You just have to look closely. Thank you for watching. Join us again tomorrow. I am Bukola Koka.
And don't forget, Sunrise is up next at the top of the hour. I'm Jeffrey Uzama. Bye-bye.